I tried fixing my hair, but I can't do anything with it this morning. Hello, boys, girls, and gender unspecified. Daddy's been busy for a while. I intend to do a life update at some point and tell you guys what the hell I've been up to. Just remember, YouTube is not my job. I do this as a hobby. But I've been working. I transferred, moved in with a new girlfriend, and things have just been really busy because of the holidays. Holy fuck. But my boy Quest4GloryGamer has been itching for a video on a topic that he wants me to discuss, and there's no sense beating around the bush because it's going to be in the title, but he wants me to talk about the upcoming Resident Evil 8, The Village. Now, I only know about as much as the rest of you know, but I was going to talk about it because, coincidentally, a lot of you know I wasn't a huge fan of what they did with Resident Evil 7. But it did turn out better than I thought it would. So, in this video, I'm probably just going to discuss the things I know, the things I'm hopeful for, and things that I want to see changed from the previous game. But yeah, let's be clear. Resident Evil 7 wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be garbage, and ever since Nathan of Devil Dog Gaming sent me a copy, and I did my Let's Play, and I did my final video, because a lot of people have seen a few different videos from me bitching about it, but I don't know how many people have actually seen the final fucking, like, review after I played it. But, yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought. I still will stand by the fact that Resident Evil 7 isn't a bad game. I just feel that it's a bad Resident Evil game. And that's pretty much my thoughts on it. But, since getting a copy of Resident Evil Survivor for the PlayStation 1, there's some game stores in this new area that I'm living in, and I found Resident Evil Survivor, so I'm really excited about that. But yeah, now after playing Resident Evil Survivor, I can see that it can be much worse in the first-person shooter perspective genre thing. But yeah, it's interesting. So in this video, I just wanted to briefly talk about Resident Evil 8, the things that I know, the things that you know. If any of you have any information that I'm missing, please put it down in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, so the things I know about Resident Evil 8, The Village, is that it's going to be starring the protagonist from Resident Evil 7. If you hear any weird noises, they're animals. My cat Freya and Bailey's dog Maeve, they just kind of hang around. They might play fight. I don't know. I might record that. Who knows? You might get to see some cuteness. But it is going to be starring the protagonist from Resident Evil 7, Ethan. And it's going to be taking place in... I have no clue where. My assumption is Ethan and... what was his wife's name? Mia? Ethan and Mia have been trying to return to a normal life since the events of Resident Evil 7 when they were both exposed to bioweapons and mutagens and things that, let's be honest, changed them forever. In the Resident Evil franchise, when you get exposed to this shit, you're changed forever. I mean, we remember Sherry Birkin from Resident Evil 6 still had G powers, the ability to heal really fast, and she's a tough motherfucker. You have Jill Valentine, who is, she was exposed to Nemesis and his T-virus plus the, whatever parasite it was. I can't remember. Alpha parasite, I can't remember. I think Alpha parasites was from fucking Ninja Blade. I can't remember what parasite it was with Nemesis, but she was exposed to that, and it gave her superhuman abilities. So, of course, now I'm sure Ethan himself is a superhuman as well as Mia, because they have been exposed to the mold. And my assumption is they're trying to live a normal life, and something is going to happen, and Chris is going to show back up and pull Ethan into a situation in which he is ill prepared for. In the Resident Evil franchise, characters like Jill Valentine, Chris Redfield, even Sherry Birkin, they are used to this sort of thing. They have become accustomed to it. It's kind of a everyday thing, eat your frosted mini wheats and then go fight bioweapons. They are playing on the floor. You can hear Freya running around. But Ethan is not. And while he is, technically now more than human, he's probably still going to have a lot of problems fighting things. But my assumption is that Chris is going to show up and yank Ethan into this situation. Now, of course, they have changed the way Chris looks. I don't like when they flub around with character designs. It's not something I'm a big fan of. I think that Chris's look has been relatively consistent throughout the video games as well as the films. I'm not talking about the Paul W.S. Anderson films, I'm talking about the CG movies. We have films like Resident Evil Degeneration, Damnation, and Vendetta. Vendetta was the other one. I thought it was a D, but it wasn't. It was Vendetta. I've also seen that there's going to be some sort of Resident Evil Netflix thing because I was browsing and I saw that. No, I didn't delete. Bailey didn't delete her account out of Cuties. We just didn't watch that garbage. But I'm excited for that as well. But Chris has had a very consistent look for like 20 fucking years. And when they changed the way he looked in Resident Evil 7, it did cause a lot of backlash. Okay, yes, it is still Chris. He has moved from a different bioterrorist organization and is now working with not Neo Umbrella, but Blue Umbrella. I don't know. I don't know exactly what the story is behind Blue Umbrella, but I'm assuming that after all this shit happened, they just formed a new branch of it. I know that that awful shooter Umbrella Corps is supposed to bridge the gap and tell you stuff about the new Umbrella, but I didn't want to play that crap. And I've seen it on sale. I've literally seen it on sale for like $3, and I'm like, I can skip you. I can skip you entirely. But my viewpoint is Chris is going to pull Ethan into something because he is new to the superhuman bioterror combat force foray. And we're going to be taken to a spooky village because it's Resident Evil 8, The Village. I want to say that the idea of going back to a village, I don't know what part of the country it's going to be set in. I don't know where it is or what the locals are like, but I want to say that going back to a village specifically is going to harken back to Resident Evil 4 vibes, and if that's the case, awesome. But from what I've seen, there is going to be a lot of Resident Evil 4 vibes in there with, of course, a village, spooky monsters, and, of course, eventually a more gothic setting with very fancy, elitist, noble characters. And I don't use noble as in they're good, I use that as in the vernacular for they are higher class individuals in this setting. Much like Ramon Salazar was above the ganado peasants that were in the village. But I'm excited for that. That looks very interesting. I don't know what is going on. Like, a lot of people have thrown around the terms vampires and werewolves. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be vampires and werewolves. We've seen many times in the Resident Evil franchise the different types of bioweapons that can be created. We don't know what they are yet. They very well could just be, oh, it's vampires and werewolves. But I'll be honest, the things I've seen in the trailer and that last shot of the monster roaring, it doesn't look like, I mean, it could be mid-transformation, but it doesn't look like a fucking werewolf. It looks like a human that has been infected with a bio-organic weapon. So, I don't know. As for the vampires thing, I don't know about that either. I mean, time and time again in the Resident Evil franchise, we've seen these high-class characters that are affected differently or given different mutagens. You have, of course, Albert Wesker. You have Alex Wesker from Resident Evil Revelations 2, which I really liked Resident Evil Revelations 2. If you haven't played that one, I highly recommend it. I think it's one of the best fucking ones in terms of these third-person shooters with characters and the gameplay. It's really fucking good, and you can co-op it all the way through. The only problem with Revelations 2 was it didn't have online co-op for the campaign, which would have made it perfect. But you've had those characters. You've had what was her name? Alexia Ashford. A lot of A's. Albert, Alex, Alexia. They love A's. I guess it's because they're alpha. But I don't know. It looks interesting to see what these characters are going to do and see what happens. The only thing that I'm really unsure as of right now is what the story is going to be like. I'm very curious to see where the campaign is going to take Ethan and what new horrors he's going to meet. But with it harkening back to Resident Evil 4 vibes and having you in a spooky village and then probably a gothic castle, it just seems really interesting, and it seems like it's going to be a much more... This is going to sound two-faced. The environment in Resident Evil 7 was good, harkening back to the old mansion days of the old Resident Evil games, but I also like more interesting and unique locations. I've actually just recently started playing Onimusha on the PS4, and I I like how Capcom can just diversify their locations through different games. Obviously, Onimusha is not Resident Evil, but the Resident Evil vibes are definitely there. But it looks really interesting, and I need just more information on it. If you have more information on it, tell me. If there's anything that I am unaware of, which is actually quite a lot. I don't know. I don't know where the setting is taking place. I don't know what the story is going to cover. But I wanted to just briefly, before I end this video, talk about some of the things that I hope that they work on with this new Resident Evil. Personally, Resident Evil 7 felt very lacking, and this is going to sound shitty, but it felt very lacking in the combat department, but I know that that was all dialed back because of the absolute action fest that Resident Evil 6 was. But guys, I've played a multitude of games. It's okay to have really good gunplay and horror and mix them together. I've played games like Fear. I've played The Suffering back on the PS2 and the Xbox. You can have good gunplay and have horror mechanics. You don't need to restrict me so much. And I hope that Ethan is a much more agile and capable protagonist this time. I don't know if he's going to be punching monsters in the face like Chris does, but hopefully it's going to be a little bit different in the gunplay combat mechanics department. Because, again, he's been through it once. He should be more capable. Even Dead Space did that. Hey, Dead Space, another game with great shooting and horror. It shouldn't be the same as it was before. I definitely want his run speed to be increased ever so slightly. The only other thing that I hope we have is I look forward, again, Resident Evil 4 vibes, I look forward to exploration. I look forward to finding nooks, crannies, solving different kinds of puzzles. The puzzles in Resident Evil 7 weren't bad, but I feel like they were pitifully dumbed down. I want you guys to go back to making real good puzzles that we have to actually use our brains for. Like, I'm exploring the village and I find a door that I can't open and get a little bit of Metroidvania in there. Later I'm inside this gothic castle and I find an insignia thing that goes in that door and I have to backtrack all the way through. And maybe this is later in the game and new scarier monsters have appeared in the area and I have to fight my way through to get to this secret door and find this secret thing. You know, I want more elaborate puzzles that aren't just find the one item that's right next to the thing you have to use it on. I mean, I can't remember what part it was during the game, but there was a part where I found, I don't remember, but I bitched about it in the video. I found an item for a puzzle in the room where the puzzle was. That's not a fucking puzzle. That's literally a straight fucking narrow line. That is Final Fantasy 13 game design. Give me labyrinthian levels with all these little things I have to find. I have to go find 4 different plates throughout the castle that open this giant door like it is Resident Evil 4. But again, with Resident Evil 4, it was kind of a straight line. I have to go and explore. I have to open doors. I have to look around myself and find these things while fighting monsters, while maintaining my resources, while getting story. That's what I want. But I don't know. Resident Evil 7, to my knowledge, was a huge success. It did well for Capcom. I just hope that with Resident Evil 8, they make it better. Because there was a lot lacking in Resident Evil 7 in terms of, in my opinion, combat and puzzles. And again, I don't want it to. I don't need it to be a big, huge action fest. It doesn't have to be Resident Evil 6. But don't restrict me so much. Ethan should be more capable now. He should be able to kick some ass. And that means you can make the monsters even more deadly. But yeah, Quest4GloryGamer wanted me to discuss Resident Evil 8, The Village, and that's what I've done. I'm not entirely sure about the story. I'm not entirely sure about the setting. If any of you have any information, please share it with me down in the comments below. And I know I haven't made videos in quite some time. I've just been stupid busy with life. It happens. But everything is going good. If any of you have been worrying about me, everything is honestly pretty goddamn good. I've just been very, very busy. The holidays have kicked my ass because I work in retail. And it's just been wild. Maeve, you've been sniffing at me this whole video. I took you outside when I let you out. Stop. Stop. That's Bailey's. That's our pupper. Yeah, the floor's a mess. It's my off day and I'm about to clean up the house. But, yeah, don't know a whole lot about Resident Evil 8, but I am looking forward to seeing what direction Capcom is going to take it in. Thank you for the video request, Quest4GloryGamer. If any of you have video requests, be sure to let me know, but be aware that I will make them when I can. I've just been stupid busy. If you sniff at me one more fucking time, she's being huffy. She wants to go back outside. Anywho, if you have any video requests, please let me know, and I will try to get around to doing a life update that about 3 of you will watch. But I've been stupid busy for a while working my ass off at my job. But life is good. Life is quite good. So, what do you think about Resident Evil 8? Are you excited for it? Are you looking forward to spooky monsters and puzzles? Because that's kind of what I want. Let me know of any information that you have, and take care.